G'day, how are we all?
Yay!
Yeah! My name is Stevic. I'm from Australian band 12 Foot Ninja, and I'm here. Did anyone come to any of my other presentations?
Didn't get to.
Because I'm going to tell all the same jokes, so sorry in advance. So, who knows what a Variax is? Okay, who doesn't know what a Variax is? Good. Says the product manager of Variax. Excellent. So what we have here is what I'm looking at in a bit of a close-up sort of picture. I just want to go through a couple of the key things to point out. This is the volume knob, the tone knob, and the 5-way pickup selector. Most people are used to seeing that stuff. There's a couple of extra knobs, not counting myself. You've got a model select option with 12 model banks. Each bank has 5 models that connects to the pickup selector. So in total there are 60 models in this guitar that I can dial up manually, or I can customize them and recall them with any kind of Line 6 equipped, Variax equipped Line 6 device. So there's lots of options. There's also 12 alternate tunings with this extra knob here. So if I was just plugging into a regular amp, I could dial up like a Strat model. I've got 5 different kind of pickup configurations or models with that Strat, and then I can change the tuning to 12 different tunings just on board the guitar. How I use it is a little bit different. I customize all of the guitars and I recall them with the Helix, which I have on the floor here. That's going to be pretty much the premise of this presentation. I'm going to show you how I use this stuff, hoping that some of you think, I could probably do that, or that would help me do what I do better. That's what the main deal is. So, a little trip down memory lane. This is the first drawing of the Shuriken that I did on a Surface Pro in 2014, and here we are at NAMM, and it's gone into production, which is exciting. It's got a great response, so I'm pretty stoked about that. And I wanted to just point out the design feature of this here. I was actually looking at the guitar without that thing, and I got my thumb and just went and took the back out. So that's actually my thumb there, which is kind of cool. I also want to emphasize it's not a signature guitar. Now, I don't look at it like that. It's a Shuriken Variax, so it's everyone's guitar, and I'm hoping to see heaps of crazy guitar players doing cool stuff with it, stuff that is different to what I'm doing, the same, whatever. It's the point is it's everyone's. So yeah. Unlike, my ego, which wishes it said Stevic and my face was printed all over the body, but I didn't do that. I restrained myself. I played a show in Australia and asked the audience to say hello. 1, 2, 3. So they're talking to you. You guys just sit there. Yeah. Beautiful. I don't think they know what NAMM is. I think they said Nan, as in grandma. But anyway, what is Variax technology? Now, there's some PowerPoint for you. Look at that. I put a cross through it. That's the wrong question. The question is, why should I use Variax technology? How do I use it? All that stuff. What can I do with it? What it is a bunch of crazy stuff that I can't explain, because unlike the myth, I didn't build the technology. I wish I could say I did, but it was actually Marcus Ryle and his team of wizards like 10 or 15 years ago did this. And I told people before, Marcus, I went to his house and he actually came to the front door on a hoverboard. Like, this dude is doing other stuff. So he creates it and I'm just using it in an interesting sort of way. And I designed this, what you see here. Now, I also wanted to quickly show a video from my friend Trey from Gear Gods. What you're not going to hear from me and what you're going to hear a lot at NAMM. I just thought this is hilarious.
The tone is just massive. These pickups just sound massive. This amp sounds massive. It really cleans up nicely when you roll back the volume. Got tons of clarity, really smooth highs, fat bass. Really got a lot of low end thump. If you turn it up a little bit for a nice pushed clean tone. It's got a lot of natural compression, really cutting mid range. Very articulate, very violin-like. It's kind of hunky, but in a good way. It kind of sounds like hot garbage, but in a good way. It's a total game changer. Very forward thinking. Pickups really have a lot of bite to them. Pushes your tone right into high gain fuzz territory.
You get the idea. I'm not going to say any of that stuff. I'll let you guys make up your own mind. So why I use Variax technology. How to sort of get under the hood of all this instead of just playing and doing that stuff. I'm actually going to try and demonstrate what I'm doing with the tech so you can sort of really get your head around how you could use it. This screen cap is from the free software called Workbench that comes with the Variax, any Variax equipped guitar. And the key things that I want you to focus on, I suppose, is the guitar body, the model that I'm using, and then the pickup configuration. So this model is a Strat with a coil pickup in the neck position. And the next part to look at is the string volume. I change the volume of the strings. Sometimes I turn the strings off. That's insane. You can't do that with conventional gear. And then the actual pitch of the string. I mess with tunings quite a bit as well. Then moving on to, I guess, a completely different model that might look something like this. And you might notice that humbucker is just a little bit wonky. Now, I moved that deliberately because I wanted to emphasize the strings closer to the bridge. So I just mucked around with the tone and went, that's cool, save that, and now that is my guitar. So this is the outer kind of shell, what you see, but inside it could be all sorts of different things. So if you take a look at these tunings here, that says B, E, A, D, F sharp, B. Now the thing to point out that I do just to confuse everyone is I like to tune the top string to D. So it's actually tuned to just standard tuning with drop D on the top string. So that B is actually A because it's 5 semitones down. So I can go from that first guitar to a much different guitar. And then if I want to go to an acoustic, I can just press a button on the Helix and I'm playing this model. Now notice the string volume, 0%, 0%. They're off. Because I didn't want those strings in that particular sound. I wanted to play in a non-discriminatory sort of way and not freak out whether I'm going to get these other strings ringing. Now I'm still muting it out because if I didn't it would sound like this. I'm still, and I'm trying to avoid those strings anyway. You do that naturally when you play, but it's pretty awesome that you can just turn them off, get them out of the way. All right, so I'm going to play a song, just a snippet, and I'll on screen show you what's changing when I hit the Helix. So remember to look at the model, the tuning, and the strings, the volume. Thanks.
Yeah!
So the thing that I like to point out, metal, why I like metal is not because I like metal, it's easy to play. It's just like, that's one finger and a little bow, bow. That other acoustic thing, that's hard. It's hard to play. Anyway, I'm going to go through this other song, which is I've actually applied for a Guinness Book of World Records for the most tuning changes mid-song on a commercially released track. I really want that coffee mug, I want the certificate, I want the t-shirt, I want to put it on my resume. So what I'm going to do, I'll show you the sounds, and then I'm going to play it, and I'll have a little number counting each one. Feel free to shout the number out, because I get psyched up when I hear it. So here we go, the first one. Now this here, you can see that I've got E and A and D turned off because it's got like a skank vibe. So again, I'm playing in a way that I want to play. I'm not too concerned about what I'm going to hit. I'm still muting it out. But it just makes it easier. That's a telly. Straight to the sort of heavy guitar with the tilted pickup again. Now it's 10 semitones down from drop D, which makes it an octave lower than E, which is bass town. So all bass players get a bit nervous, insecure. That's cool. And that's fun to do that. There's that metal thing again. It's easy, and it's like, I can play guitar. You don't even have to do anything. So you can see everything other than that is 12 semitones lower. Now here I go to this weird tuning, E, G, E, F, B, D. E, F, D tuning. Now you probably wouldn't write with that, but I came up with this, well, actually I think Ro, the other guitarist, wrote it. Let's say I wrote it for just this presentation purposes. I've got one finger, and then another finger, and the open notes are the notes of the chords. That's how you play it on Shuriken. This is how you play it on a normal guitar. That's a 5-fret reach. Now the second one, one finger, open strings. That's a regular guitar, 6-fret reach. Now, Ro always says, is the squeeze worth the juice? For this little bit, it's not worth doing something that you're going to need therapy to get over. It's just a little bit of a song. So I make the guitar bend to my will versus the other way around. Now I've got, again, I'm turning the top 3 strings off and I'm tuned down a tone for a little arpeggio kind of part. And then I go to a lead sound where I turn the tuning off and I just use the standard tuning. I practiced that lick for like 4 months to do that just then. Hope you appreciate it. And this one? Oh, come on! Thank you. And then from there I go into just a standard tuning. So you can see I've tuned up a tone. So now that's in standard tuning. And then to an acoustic guitar, top 2 strings turned off. So the same sort of vibe. And then I finish with the crushing, licked by a whale, subterranean punch kind of sound. Again, we're down E and octave. I've turned those next 2 strings off. There's not anything going on there. C, and then D, and then turn that string off. Now, why I do that? Again, a metal thing. I love the... I just do that. Now, can you imagine going, hey, I just wrote this new song, and goes... You'd be like, I think you should stop playing guitar, mate, and move on to like origami or something. So I do that, and then I got a little bendy bit, which would usually be up here somewhere, and I keep it all in 5th position. Now the reason I do that is because I want to actually perform and play, because people come to see the band play, They can imagine some dude just sitting there going, like playing. Other things that I've noticed about people who do difficult stuff on guitar, they get into that dog crap position, you know, like with a sort of like yoga, like they're humping a tennis ball. And another observation that I've made, YouTube videos with guitarists, You know when they look down the barrel and they're looking at themselves being filmed and it's really awkward? It's the same look that dogs give you when they're taking a shit. Because they're scared. They need someone to protect them. So I don't want to do that face. So I just changed the neck. And it makes things easier. Anyway, I'm going to play this song and check out the changes. I hope that solo that I just stuffed up doesn't end up on YouTube. If it does, that was academic, just to prove that this gear, you still make mistakes. And maybe we can edit in the other day where I did it better. Anyway, so another thing you can do, we've lost the screen. Is the video guy there? I need to go forward? Okay, yeah, there's actually a black slide. Yeah! That's awesome! So, Thanks, mate. Sorry, I had a mild attack in my mind then. So this is what it looks like to change the tuning using the Helix. I showed you what it looks like inside the Variax. So you can actually plug in one of these guitars, alter your tunings in the Helix, which makes things easier. You don't need the software, you can just do it, and it looks like that. So A-A-E-B-E-B is the tuning that I've used here. Now, what I've done a couple of times with solos is change the tuning to get a different kind of solo vibe. And I'll show you a quick snippet of when I did that, and I completely forgot what tuning that I had set. So when I filmed the video, I used a surgical glove to... So you can always do that, and the flames I put in there myself. Thank you. Hand for the flames. So I'm going to show you real quick something you could do. I prepared this just for NAMM because I thought it would be appropriate. And you know, I don't think you hear enough of this stuff at events like NAMM. So. Thanks. That was way easier than what it looked like. I gotta tell you a funny story. I knew this dude that was like, yeah man, Steve Vai just blows on the guitar and it goes up an octave. And he's like, and like he's got a whammy pedal on the floor. It's a diversion of attention, so. That's what I was doing there. So you learn something, eh? I call that tuning, hey babe, tuning. That was a picture from Shutterstock that I had to pay for. So I want you to appreciate it. I typed in sleazy guy. It'd be funny if my own picture came up. Anyway, hey babe. So now I'm going to show you some other things you can do. This is I like to call this genre massage music genre. Yeah, I'm going to just play a bit of that and then I'm going to show you double drop D. So I did E, I'm going to go a tone lower than that. And that's where like, when I play that tone, I find that animals start following me everywhere. It's like hitting some frequency or something. Anyway, and the video is actually Workbench, me editing a guitar. So check it out. Would you like deep tissue massage, or do you want me to be a bit light on? You looking to relax? Or is it more just getting in those knots? No happy endings here, I'm afraid. You.
Been busy, mate?
I love that tuning. That's the reach out and touch people's guts tuning. And you could start a whole band, you could write an album of just doing that. People do it. Just get the Cookie Monster in. Cookie, cookie, cookie. Another Shutterstock. I photoshopped her makeup and the nose ring on there. She's pointing to a question mark. Why? Now, you would never do this, but I always like to do what you wouldn't do. And I do what I wouldn't do. I get up in the morning and think, what am I not thinking? a cover of Lana Del Rey's cover of a Creep, which is Radiohead's cover of another band. I'm covering the Lana Del Rey cover of the Radiohead cover of the other cover. And I need this hand to cry and, you know, retouch people and all that stuff. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the title of the first guitarist to get applauded for playing 4 chords at NAMM. Actually, I didn't even play 4 chords. This hand was doing something else. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but Australians are from the future. We literally are. And part of the coming from the future is having the ability to read minds. And I can hear some thoughts. Someone's thinking, that's cheating. Someone's thinking it. They're thinking this. Now, I disagree, and I just want to show you what cheating actually is. This is cheating. I said it last year. You don't eat spaghetti with your hands. Use a fork.
Knives and forks.
This is the fork that we've been looking for. Oh, that's the future music from Australia. Someone asked me what future music would sound like, and I like that, and I think people would be like just yelling fonts out. Arial, Courier, Times. I'm just talking crap. So, question time. Any questions?